Shalom, giving all praise here. How about Shem Al Shai, by Shem Rukakwada, Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to all. We'll make this quick. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, The 10 Horns and the 10 Toes Will Make War with the Prostitute. So what I did was, I'm just going to read one precept out of one chapter, Revelation 17 and 12, but I'm going to read it in, I always read it in the KJV 1611. I'm going to read it out of the NLT. It's from the 12th verse, and we're going to read down to the 18th verse, and then I'll say a few words and I'll close. So we know, based upon Daniel 2, Daniel 7, Revelation, pretty much the whole book, the prophetic parts. So that's 90% of the book, because the first three chapters are getting the seven churches of Asia Minor in order, and that the seven churches of Asia Minor will receive the revelations or the visions that was given to John the Apostle on the Isle of Patmos. So the first chapter is an introduction. Yahweh Shai comes down and shows himself as a man. He shows the seven. He's over the seven candlesticks and so forth, which represent the seven churches of Asia Minor. The second and the third chapters are talking about all the churches that are doing good, but they're going off. Like IUIC, they say a lot of good things. We were listening to Bishop Nathaniel last night, and he was pretty much on point. I don't remember hearing anything that he went off on, but if he goes off, we're gonna jump on him. Like the hell doctrine, the MOTB doctrine, or you can only have one woman doctrine, and you got to keep the law doctrine, where we're not saved by the law. We're saved by faith and by grace. It is the gift of the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, so no man can boast. You can't say, well, boast meaning I keep the law better than you. That's what Paul said. He told the scribes and Pharisees, he said, I keep the law better than you. But he said, I count that all but dung. So anyway, let me just read this. Now, I was watching this video. Let me bring it on up. Let me X this out. X this out. Okay, so this is it right here. I was listening to the Friends of the Prophets. As you can see, I subscribe to him. Get his notifications. USA no longer world leader. Now, when you use the term hegemony, that's talking about a world leader, or the bully on the block, I call it. Like, you have dominance. That's why you have a world reserve currency. The last country, sovereign nation that had a world reserve currency was Great Britain, the UK. Before World War II, and after World War II, it was the U.S. that received the status of world reserve currency, which later years is known as what is it? The petrodollar. The petrodollar. And that's a whole nother subject, which I'm not going to get into. What it means in a nutshell, if two countries that are not part of the U.S. do a deal to buy oil, let's say Germany buying oil from Iraq, Germany couldn't exchange their Deutschmarks into the Iraqi money, whatever it's called. Somebody help me out. They would have to convert the German dollar into the U.S. dollar, or the Federal Reserve note, and then use the U.S. dollar to pay for the gas, which would prop up the dollar. That's why it went from world reserve currency to petrodollar, which is the same thing. because it's centered around the petrol dollar, gas. So that's falling now. That's crumbling. So anyway, this is the video. Watch the video. I watch only about up to here. And this is centered over the meeting with Zelensky and Trump and J.D. Vance, the president, vice president, president of Ukraine. Now, this made a big stare. He said this is good for TV. How do you say it? Good for TV, or TV, whatever. The European nations, you know, the U.S. news media is saying that this guy didn't come with a suit. He didn't do this. Elon Musk was at the Oval Office and he didn't wear a suit either. He wore a damn cap. He didn't even take his cap off. So where's the criticism in that? And I believe anytime when he addressed Congress to get that money, he didn't wear a suit either. Okay? So after that, the American media, you know, the Fox Newses and so forth, Newsmaxes and News Nation and these type of, not the CNNs, they kind of said that you disrespected the president, this, that, and the third. Now the European media, they kind of saying that that Trump disrespected you, and Trump is looking like a bad guy. That he was using, you know, words that a bully would use, which, like I say, use the word hegemony is the actual word, which is the bully of the block. Bullies eventually get bullied by another bully, you know, and taken out of the way. So the time of their bully on the block, her hegemony is over. You got two other superpowers, Russia and China. Give me a second. I got an important call from one of the apostles. Give me a second. Yeah, Shalom, what's up? I'm making a video, but it's on pause. What's that? I mean, what's that? I don't even think I got it. Okay, I don't know. Oh no, it's no big deal. No, just send it to me. Big deal. No big deal. Okay. And it's helping? Yeah, yeah. 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 Give me a second. Give me a second. Hey, say shalom. Say shalom. You're on the video. Say, so they don't think I'm talking to a girl. say shalom. Say a couple of words.
Shalom. Sarayim Lab.
Say it again.
Sarayim Lab. Shalom.
Hey, all right. Hey, yeah. So you know, you do these live videos and whatever. Anyway, go ahead. No. Go ahead. You gotta wait. And like Oha said, let them wait. Yeah. You know, Crichton, you mean Crichton? Did you see things, spirits? Because my woman, I got that from my woman, and she used to take it and she used to see demons and spirits and shit. No, I know about it. I know about it. I already know where to get it. But is he giving you red or green? Yeah, red is for relaxing, yeah. But if you take enough of that, you're going to start seeing spirits. Yeah. Because like I said, you'll see spirits. You will see spirits, man. You see a brother come in and it look like a demon, you might attack the brother. That's mainly the green one. The green one. The red one is more, you might see, more righteous spirits. So you got to be careful with that stuff, you know. But it does work. It does work. I think it comes from South America. Yeah, it's like a color. Yeah, it comes from South America. You got the same problem I got with the gut, but you got a different whatever, you know? You've been eating sauerkraut? Oh yeah, that's easy to make. All you need is water. You go to YouTube. Water. Even Grundy said, I was watching Grundy about the sauerkraut, and he said that's good for you. He said that he said if you do it's like a fast, but with sauerkraut, onions, and garlic, and he said you do that for 4 days, and it resets your gut. And if Grundy says it, you know that's the real deal, because you can't eat nothing with that dude, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you won't be coming back anytime soon. No problem. No, I'm asking you because I'm going to have to lead the Passover. I was kind of reading it, I hadn't did that. Yeah, but don't worry about it. I got it. That means I'm gonna just rehearse it until it comes. I read it. I got the paperwork, right there, and I was practicing on blowing the shofar again. So by the time it'll come, I'll have it down packed. I might modify it, because when Yahushua had it, they didn't have no big, they just sat down and ate, shalom, eat, boom, sang some hymns, and that's it. Good to go. That's all the Ariyah stuff. Following them small hats, Yeah. Okay. So what is his qualifications? Yeah, well, you don't need no blood work because you're cleaning your blood out any damn way. You're regulating your blood anyway. Oh, let me just say something for you people out there watching. This is what we talk about. We're talking about the scriptures, or we're talking about herbs and healing and stuff. So I'm still on the phone, so hold tight, y'all. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said.
Hmm.
So can
Yeah, don't worry about it.
so pretty much, I mean, that's what I what I've been doing. Oh yeah, because he said with the sports I have deficiencies. He said, but most people what they do is when they find out they have deficiency, they throw stuff at it, but they don't address their bottom line issue.
Right,
So
right.
if we ruin my gut, then when I eat stuff, then I can get all those nutrients that I need.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you the video if I can find it again with Dr. Grundy. I'll send you the video.
Okay.
It's about I was it 15 minutes long or whatever. You know, Grundy when he says something, you can't eat anything with him.
Yeah.
You think you thought this healthy? This not healthy. But he said the sauerkraut. He said that he breaks it down. You know.
Okay. Come.
So anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get back into the show. You can call me later or whatever if you have anything else to say. Hey, Yabashin Shabbat. Shalom. Yeah, Apostle Ramlab had just called me from the Midwest. He's out there, so he'll be out there passing Passover. Anyway, so I was going into. Please forgive me again. It says USA no longer world leader as wars flare up in Africa and the Caribbean. Well, there's a war, official war between the Mexican-American War. Remember the Spanish-American War? You got the Mexican-American. They're not call that war with the cartels. They're not calling it a war, but it's a war. The cartels, according to the news, they're using military-grade weapons, and they're trained by the military. There's a lot of corruption down there. You know. So that's Amos 5, where it speaks about. Matter of fact, I'll go to that real quick. But anyway, I was watching this video, and pretty much, watch this video. It deals with the subject that I'm dealing with, and I'll go to Amos in a minute. But let me just read this. I said I wasn't gonna make this long. Let me read Revelation 17:12 and on down to the end, 18 verse in the NLT. It says, the 10 horns of the beast are 10 kings. So it's the EU and NATO are part of the same beast system, who have not yet risen to power. When did they rise into power? Officially 19, it was 58, 57 going to 58, I believe 58, 59, they received their charter, and they became they became the European EEC, European Economic Community. There was a couple other names in between the EEC and the EU. And then you had the EU, finally it was called the EU, European Union. And I was doing a research on it. I did a video on it. And the EU had their own money system in the year of 1999. 1999, so we go officially 58, 59. We're talking, what is it? We're talking how many years? We're talking 50 years, right? 59, 69, 79, 89, 99, 40 years, I'm sorry. 40 years. And that was, it says, they will be appointed to their kingdoms for one brief moment, and the King James is 1 hour. 1 hour to the Most High is 42 years. And now, from the time that they came into power as the EU, ultimately as the EU, to the time of that ending of the hour is 42 years, and that would be the year 2000. So we're saying 58, actually 58. They received their chart in 58, if I'm not mistaken. 58 to 2000 is 42 years. 58, 68, 78, 88, 98. Right, 42 years. And an hour with the Most High is 42 years. A day with the Most High is 1,000 years, right? So that's when the clock started ticking. Let me read it again. The 10 horns of the beast are 10 kings who have not yet received power. When did they receive power? They will be appointed. When did they receive power? When did they come in as a unit? 57, 58. They received their chart in '58. Some of the EU nations were already a part of NATO, the NATO nations. Some of the EU nations that were not a part became a part of the NATO, vice versa. NATO nations became EU nations, and the EU nation became NATO nation. The NATO nation is just part of the beast. The whole beast consists of EU and NATO. It says they will, and they all, and remember J.D. Vance went over there a week and a half ago, and he cursed out NATO. That's something that you don't do, especially in this prophetic time. See, this is how we know that this man is coming down very soon. It's counting down to the months. It ain't going to be 50 years from now. It's not going to be 10 years from now. Because what we're experiencing right now at this minute is Daniel 2, starting from the 40th verse, where it says the 10 toes, part miry clay and part iron. We're living in that time. And we've been living in that time. So you can actually say the year 2000. It says they will all agree to give him, the beast, the NATO, their power and authority. So they all work together. Remember, NATO nations and EU nations are interchangeable. Together they will go, and they're all Edomite nations. There's no African nations, no Arab nations that are part of the NATO. So that right there is racism in itself. That right there is racism in itself. It's an economic and military joining together, and then you got two other nations, America and Canada, which are European nations. So that's racism in itself. Can you imagine an African nation gathering an alliance, and they all happen to be either African or Arab, no Chinese, no Japanese, no white people? They're gonna call out racism. It said together. So there's a reason why all those nations are European nations. Together they will go to war with the Lamb, but the Lamb will defeat them because he is Kyries of all Kyries and King of all kings, and his called and chosen, that's the angels and us, and faithful ones will be with him. Those that start with the angels, and it's going to start with us, because when the missiles are dropped, we're going to be delivered, so we're going to be part of that called and chosen. 15 verse, then the angel said to me, the waters where the prostitute, that's a better word, so she sells herself out for money. She prostitutes herself. She goes to bed with the other nations. And her lust is democracy, and eventually the MOTB is ruling, represent masses of people of every nation and tongue and language. America was, at one time, still is called a great melting pot. You don't got to go to another country to experience what that country is. If you're in New York, for example, you can go to any restaurant. You got all these nations that have their culture, they bring it over here to America, right? The pizza and Italian restaurants and pizza shops came after World War II, because the GIs, when they were stationed in Italy, they were eating a lot of pizza, and they said, well, we got to have pizzas over here in America. We missed that pizza. So you had Italian Americans came over here on the boat during the century. What did they do? They said, let's set up a pizza shop and Italian restaurants. It said the scarlet beast, which is the prostitute, I'm sorry, the European Union and NATO and his 10 horns, which is the EU, all hate the prostitute. It says the beast and the 10 horns, NATO and the EU, all hate the prostitute. They're hating them right now. They're all upset, or most of them are upset at that meeting that what's his name, Zelensky and Trump had, and they said they disrespected you. It says they will strip her naked, get all the aid that you can get. Zelensky came there to do what? To get more money, to get another 50 billion, to get another 100 billion. He already got 300 billion, and what is they going to ultimately do? The people of Ukraine, they hate America, right? Based upon that meeting. Eat her flesh, take her resources and her money, how much they can get. That's Obadiah 7th verse, and burn her remains. Remains meaning, a dead person, some animals ate part of the body, the clothes is ripped off or whatever. There's money missing, IDs missing or whatever. And it says, and burn her remains. Because when this place is burnt, it's going to be a skeleton of itself. Economically, morally. This place is not coming back together. Bush is not going to make America great again. Even his MAGA people, they hate him now. And this is not even a month he's been in office. A month in, what is it, a month in about a little bit more than a month. It said, for the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, has put a plan into their minds. So the Most High is making it happen. They hating him, and the Most High is feeding off of that. The Most High is putting, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is dousing it with gasoline. A plan that will carry out his purpose. Because ultimately, this is the Most High's doing. And you should also read what goes hand in hand with this Revelation 17 is James chapter 5. They will agree to give their authority to the scarlet beast. EU and NATO is going to come together. If you keep up with Zelensky since the beginning of the war, what was Zelensky begging for? To join the EU and or the NATO, actually the NATO nations, more so the EU. They wanted to be a member of the NATO nations. The NATO nations, the representatives said no. Why did they say no? Because they would have to enter into the war. That would be World War III. That's why I mentioned James chapter 5. Anything that Babylon gets out of, they're going to turn around and it's going to be another problem. They're going to get rid of that problem. That old problem, that first problem is going to flare back up. Then they're going to have another problem. And so the words of the Most High will be fulfilled, because it's all about the Most High. And this woman or this prostitute you saw in your vision represents the great city that rules over the kings of the world. They're the unofficial, official leaders of the world that the people are coming against them now. The nations are coming against them now. The saying goes, if the United States catches a cold, the rest of the world catches the flu or pneumonia or whatever the case may be, catches the flu. So we're in that time now. So I'll be surprised if we go to 2007. I'll be surprised if we go that far. Let alone going 10 years. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Not with Trump being in office. Not with Trump being in office. The scriptures say, I will overturn it. I will overturn it. Let me see if I can get that. I will overturn it. Let's see what comes up. It's actually right. It's not overturn, it will overturn. Ezekiel 21 verse 27. I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come whose right it is, and I will give it him. So Esau took everything, including us. So now the Most High has to overturn this. Now, the prophecies are twofold. Let me open this up. A parable of the sword of the Lord, the instrument of the Most High's judgment. Upon who? Well, it says right here, the king of Babylon. The word of the Lord came unto me again, saying, also, thou son of man, point thee 2 ways, that the sword of the king of Babylon, and that's the king of Babylon in Isaiah 14. So that's he most definitely has to be Trump. May come both twine shall come forth. Now this is a prophecy. This is twofold. It was talking about then, but it's talking about now. It keeps saying the king of Babylon. Let me do this. The king of Babylon. The cruel Lord. Okay, the king of wow, that occurs 1,370 times. Let me do this. Give me a second. The king of Babylon. Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 51. The king of Babylon. King of Babylon. If you go to Isaiah, the king of Babylon. When you read every one of these precepts, it's talking about the Nebuchadnezzar, the last king, which was Nebuchadnezzar. But when you go to certain other prophecies, it's talking about the current king of Babylon. Hey, so anyway, with that, shalom, on to the next shalom.